Hello you, it's me. Today we're going to talk about Nightbitch by Rachel Yoder. This is coming out on the 20th of July. I was lucky enough to get proof. I'll mark some relevant stuff on the time bar underneath. I'll try and be as spoiler free as I can. Let's just jump straight in. Hopefully the sound is a bit better today. I've got a new mic. Make sure you follow the author on Twitter. I will link that down below. In this book we follow an unnamed woman married to a man who is absent 5 days a week on trips across the country related to his work, and mother to a completely exhausting 2-year-old boy, essentially trying to raise him alone. She studied art at university, got a job in the field, and put everything on hold to have and raise a child. And now she's drained physically, creatively, she's depressed, she's lonely, she's angry all the time. And one day she starts to find coarse, dark patches of fur across her body, her canines sharpening, tapering to points, and a craving for raw meat. This book is about her almost fairy tale-esque journey to understand her experience and reconcile womanhood and motherhood. I whizzed through this in about a day, but it's such a fluid read, you could probably knock this out in about 6 hours. It's a stream of consciousness book, and you're strapped in to the mind of the main character, who is, for the whole book, unnamed. But the whole thing is her observation, her thoughts, her feelings, and none of it filtered through propriety for the people around her. So this is such a raw book. Her resentment towards other people, her resentment even towards her child. And because you know the reasons for these experiences, the feelings behind these experiences, you totally sympathize the whole way through. This book rips away all the parts of motherhood that society tells you are shiny or romanticized, and you get this depiction of something hard, freaking like a waking nightmare. There are a lot of big themes and discussions in this book, and I think one of the biggest has got to be this cycle of repression and eruption, with women stifling huge parts of themselves because of how societal expectation is telling them they should be behaving. Or motherhood and just how undervalued that is. It's about what society deems proper behaviour for a woman and a mother, and the desperation to just be seen as an individual and a person, and not just a machine, a sum of all the tasks you perform for other people. This woman has a degree, she had an art-related career, and I think this book makes you think about whether good mother equals selfless mother might be a toxic mindset to have. One thing I think this book did so well and resonated with me really hard were all these crafted arguments happening in the person's head. These well thought out responses, these logical responses that you think to yourself, oh, I could never say that out loud. You can just see so clearly why the main character is angry, and how justified her emotions were, even though everybody around her was not deliberately doing anything malicious. They're undervaluing her, they're taking her for granted, they're being inconsiderate, and I think this book really well shows how much that can just wear a person down. The overall vibe of this book was really strange, and during the main character's research to find out more about her condition, to try and find women who are having a similar experience in becoming a dog, becoming an animal, she stumbles across a book in her local library with similar researched experiences around the world. And you get snippets of these different stories from different cultures. The stream of consciousness narrative of this book makes it read almost like American Psycho by Bret Easton Ellis. But with how deeply metaphorical what is happening to her is, I'd also say this book shares a lot with Kafka's Metamorphosis, and it is very ambiguous the whole time you're debating whether something is actually happening, whether something is just a metaphor. But one thing I loved about this book is that is never painted as hysteria, and the main character is never degraded in that way. But when she starts to look deeper into what's happening to her, this book takes on an almost fairy tale tone. It almost a lot of times steps into being a fairy tale, then pulls back just at the last minute. It could very easily be a modern, updated retelling of a very old folk story. Given that so much of this book is being an animal, there's a big theme, I think, about how this relates to birth and childcare, about instinct and pack mentality. A human gives in to the animal urge to reproduce, embracing this wild part of who we are. And then society is like, yeah, don't be that wild, actually. As she becomes more animalistic, she behaves differently towards her spouse, towards her child. And we're left as readers to ask whether this insane experience she's going through is making her a better person, a fuller person, and whether that equates to being a better mum. I think there's also something here about art, about being a creative, the aspects of yourself you draw from when you do create, the parallels between raising a child and creating a piece of art, and about how when you change because of experiences in life, your art changes too. Yeah, I think this book might be about maybe not defining yourself as a mother only. Sure, letting other people see that as a defining part of you if they want to, but being your own whole person and defining yourself through things you love, whether that is your child, whether that's your art, about taking back a part of yourself, the bits society told you to throw away, repress, keep silent. This book is one long howl. It's a cry for freedom and expression, and I really loved every second of it. So 4 stars, I highly recommend everybody check this out. Super weird, Kafka-esque fairy tale, and the ending is absolutely bonkers. So yeah, go read this, it's cool. If you like sci-fi, check out our Interstellar book group, that'll be linked down below. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter and Goodreads, linked down below as well. I'm on Readerly 2 now, my @ is Max. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more single book reviews, and I'll see you soon for the next one. Bye.